What are you doing? What are you doing? I want to play. I want to play. Hello everyone and welcome to a Pint of Ale. Now last week we had a show planned. I filmed it, I edited it, and I got to the end and I started looking over it and realized it was not quite up to what I wanted it to be. There was a lot about it that I didn't like, so I'm going to break that down later. But in that episode, I had a beer. It wasn't the beer's fault that I didn't get around to releasing the episode, so I want to share that beer with you right now. On today's menu, we have Wicked Weed Brewing's Napoleon Complex Hoppy Pale Ale. If you don't know Wicked Weed, they were actually in the news recently. They were recently acquired by Anheuser-Busch. They are located out of Asheville, North Carolina. It says, Napoleon Complex is a small-statured pale ale with larger-than-life attitude. Rejecting the industry standard of diminutive hop presence and mild manner, this pale ale will have most IPAs contemplating their inadequacy. Little beer, big flavor, even bigger ego. See, Napoleon Complex, it makes sense now. And this week I decided to grab this nice little frosty mug. I don't know if you can kind of see the frostiness coming off of it to where it's really hot in here, but this is really cold. The purpose of said mug is to keep the beer nice and cool. It's real heady. And you really can't see the beer, so if you like observing your beer, you're not really gonna lie, but look at that. I'm like Sub-Zero. There's too much head. That's what Porter would say. It's an IPA. It may not say it on there. Pale Ale, IPA's Indian Pale Ale. It might not say IPA, but it's an IPA. I mean, there's really not much more I can say about it. And look, I'll admit, I enjoyed IPAs when they first started coming out, when they were not really that popular, but everybody's doing IPAs now, and it's just, they're all the same. There's rare few that I can find that really change things up where they'll throw in a fruit flavor, a pepper flavor, but normally they all kind of have this hoppy flavor to them, and it's just, you gotta be in the mood for it. And if that wasn't enough for you, I've got another beer here today. This week, we have Samuel Adams New England IPA. It's hazy and juicy. Juicy. I know, I'm sticking with IPAs. Sue me. Got my Sam Adams glass. Hazy and juicy, yeah. Brew likes it. Now, as I said, with the Wicked Weed, it's kind of, you know, an IPA. They just have this basic element to them. They're bitter, they're hoppy, that's about all they have going for them. This one does have that added element to an IPA that kind of makes it stand out a little bit. So when you're kind of looking for that bitter hoppiness, but you want a little something extra, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but it's lacking a little something. Like I just want a little bit more juice in it, you know? You get hints of it, but it's not overbearing. It's not a punch in the face. So again, that might be actually good for some people who like IPAs with a little something extra, but for me, I want a little something more, because you still get that bitterness to it. And I don't mind a bitter beer, but little addition to an IPA would be a nice adjustment. Now, as far as what happened last week, and I guess what we're going to talk about today is that, and kind of, I guess, whatever is going to happen going forward. Last week, after news broke that Sony and Disney were cutting ties and that Spider-Man would be going back to Sony, and then all this drama came out, headlines flew, and everything like that, it kind of hurt a little bit. It hit me in a way that I wasn't expecting, because I got frustrated, I got mad, and then I came in here and I did a show and I talked about it and I got mad and I vented to the camera, but reviewing it, I felt like I was coming off as some entitled asshole who was more concerned about this thing that doesn't affect me whatsoever versus some real problems in the world, you know, like impending doom with tariffs between the US and China. We've got a fire in the Amazon that's really, really bad, and it's something that needs to be covered. It's something that needs to be talked about. And I casually mentioned it in the video. It came off wrong. It came off as if I didn't care enough. This story about Spider-Man was more important than anything else in the world, and I didn't like how it was coming off. And that was not my intention, so I chose not to release that. I chose to walk away from that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me. As much as I dislike this feud that may not even be ongoing. I don't know what the news is this week. I'm recording this. If anything's changed, I don't know about it. Do I care? To a degree, yeah. I want to see these characters interact. I want to see this thing happen, but so what? So what? It's not going to end my life. It's not going to end everything in the world. and I'm not going to waste my energy on it. I wasted my energy on it, and I disliked the person that was staring back at me in that camera, and I'm not going to waste my time on it. And the worst part about it is I wanted this forum to be a conversation between us where we could talk about different things, we could talk about fun things, and just kind of lighten the mood. And I took it to a place that it didn't need to go, and then it started making me think about all these important things that I'd like to talk about, that we need to talk about. But then it goes against the entire purpose of this, and perhaps I don't have anything worth talking about that's important. Maybe this is just not the right forum for it. I don't know anymore. I don't have any suggestions coming my way about what we could talk about, so I'm just kind of left hanging, not knowing what to do. I don't know, this last week has given me a lot of time to reflect on things, and I'm really torn because I've got a lot of projects going on, and there's a lot of them that I've even thought about ending, this being one of them. I haven't openly talked about it, and I don't know anymore. I don't know what I want to do anymore with the time I have and the projects that I'm working on. I just feel overwhelmed, and I don't have time to manage them all. And like I said a few videos back, I got to do what's best for me. I've got to not dictate what the audience wants. You guys have been watching. You guys have been watching a lot more than I anticipated. And I've been surprised by some of the views that I've been getting, because some of the upticks have been surprising. I didn't expect to see 40 or 50 views on a video, and maybe it was just the topic I was talking about at the time. I don't know. I would imagine so, because some of the others don't follow in the same pattern. So I don't know. I'm at a loss. I've already lost one show because my partner is not here. I've been trying to do this to kind of keep it going, and even trying to do this right now felt like a chore, but I'm doing it because I feel like, for some weird reason or another, I just owe it to you to give you an explanation as to why there's nothing here or why it stopped happening. So I guess what I'm saying is this is going to be the last episode of A Pint of Ale for a while, maybe forever. Who knows? It just depends on the mood I'm in. Maybe time will shift back in my favor, and I can start doing this more often again, to where it doesn't feel like a chore that I'm having to do this and all that. And I don't want this to feel like a chore. I want it to feel like fun, and I was having fun. And even just a few episodes in, things change, and it doesn't feel like that. And for whatever reason, last week's episode really kind of drove that home for me. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm done here for now. I've enjoyed drinking with you. I've enjoyed talking with you, from this show to way back in Porter and Ale, and I really wish that it was still ongoing. I wish it was something that was always happening, and I could do it on a regular basis, but it's just clearly not in the cards. So I thank you for spending time with me. I thank you for watching these videos, and I bid you all a very fond farewell.